Dr. Chabra, he is the chairperson of ISSICON.
First time in South India, and Chennai is proud to host that, and Kaveri Hospital is very happy to partner with Spinal Societies to host this conference in Chennai. And as always, my wholehearted welcome to the media who have been supporting the Kaveri Hospital and healthcare industry in promoting this, all the social cause behind all these meetings. In the conference, main the spinal injury prevention and rehabilitation. You know, the spinal injuries commonly affects men below 40 years. அதாவது மேல் breadwinner சொல்லுவோம், ஒரு ஃபேமிலிக்கு இன்கம் ஏர்ன் பண்ணுற மென், அதுவும் 40 இயர்ஸ்க்கு மேலே அவங்கள தான் காமனாக அஃபெக்ட் பண்ணுது. ஸோ இது அஸ் எ சொசைட்டி we have got all responsibility to prevent these injuries. ரீஹாபிலிட்டேஷன் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் அடுத்த பக்கம், பட் வந்து அந்த அந்த இன்ஜுரிஸ் ப்ரிவென்ஷன் வந்து மெயின் ஆஸ்பெக்ட். இன்னைக்கு ஈவினிங் ஃபங்க்ஷனில் வந்து நம்ம ஹிஸ் எக்ஸலன்சி கவர்னர் ஆஃப் தமிழ்நாடு அவர் வந்து நம்ம ஸ்பைனல் இன்ஜுரிஸ் ப்ரிவென்ஷனுக்கு என்னென்ன பண்ண போகிறோம் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு டாக்கம் கொடுப்பாங்க. பட் ஒன்ஸ் த இன்ஜுரி ஹேப்பன்ஸ், அதுக்கப்புறம் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் வந்து ப்ரீ ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட், ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட், போஸ்ட் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் இந்த மாதிரி இருக்குது. அதோட இதுவும் ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். இன்ஜுரிஸ் நடந்தோன்னா எவ்வளோக்கு உடனுக்குடன் நம்ம ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் பண்ணுறோமோ அதோட ஸ்பைனல் இன்ஜுரிஸோட ரெசிடுவல் டிசபிலிட்டியை குறைக்க உதவும். அதுக்கப்புறம் ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் முடிஞ்சோடனே இமீடியட் போஸ்ட் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட், அதாவது இவங்களாம் அப்புறம் லைஃப் லாங் ரீஹாபிலிட்டேஷன் இஸ் ஆல்சோ இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். We have got a lot of plans for this rehabilitation. Dr. Balamurli, our head of spine surgery in Kaveri Hospital, also will lead it. So my wholehearted welcome to the national, international faculty and as well as the media. Thank you.
Get this meeting to Chennai. So there's a lot of reasons why this has come to Chennai. One is, see, Tamil Nadu, if you all don't know, is probably the number one on road accidents. So we do have a very serious problem. So we are a healthcare capital. You know, Tamil Nadu's Chennai especially is a healthcare hub, and we are very good at treating acute care. But when it comes to rehabilitation, we do not have the kind of facilities that Delhi or any other major cities does have. So it's very important that people in Chennai and south of India, they understand the importance of rehabilitation, importance of managing this very complex problem. So spinal cord injury is not like any other small other injury where you get fixed with it and then you get on with life. This is a lifelong disease. So managing this needs a lot of expertise. So this conference hopefully is focusing on bringing all the experts. So the people who are attending this conference are not just doctors. It is paramedical staff, nurses, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, psychologists, consumers, patients themselves are here. They are here to share their experience. And so we are finding a common ground about what is best and what is the best way to treat with these people, because it varies from different parts of the country. So that is the reason why we have this conference. So there is a very important social message here as well, and that is why we are all here, and hopefully you will go through the program and you will see that, you know, it's a huge area to cover. So now I welcome Dr. Chabra to say a few words about it.
Exactly the same way Calcutta was developed by Chennai. And it is a very important issue of the healthcare, because you are growing very fast. You are actually, your growth is much exceeding the many parts of this country. And with the moment you grow, the more trauma comes. The more you develop, the more trauma comes. And more trauma comes, more spinal injury comes. And if you have a small trauma, there is a small fracture here and there, you can manage very well. But you have the spinal injury needs a lot of effort. And that's the reason it is important. And second, who are the spinal injury patients? They are poor, illiterate, male, below the age of 30, and lifelong they have to sit in the wheelchair. If you don't do it, their death will be much earlier. And most productive people of this country, we are missing, the younger generation. And you know, India is the second country today, which is the youngest population in the world, and it's going to be first by 2030. So obviously, we'll be losing a lot of younger generation from this one. Unfortunately, the Chennai has got a very strong healthcare. And as one of my colleagues had said, that even the trauma in Chennai is very high. Fortunately, our healthcare also is very standard, and the doctors' quality or capacity to do it is very high. So obviously, we believe that it is necessary to focus the spinal cord injury, and specifically for
how devastating it can be. In fact, it is described as the most devastating ailment that human being can be afflicted with. And perhaps many of you may not know that it was described as an ailment not to be treated, not till very long ago. It was only in the Second World War that they showed that if properly treated, these people can lead a near normal lifestyle. Just to give you the statistics, during the First World War, during the war there are a lot of casualties, so similarly there are a lot of spinal cord injuries also which take place. So during the First World War, only 1% of people who got spinal injured survived more than 1 year. All of the remaining succumbed within 1 year of the injury. So during the Second World War, when they came up with this concept that these people can be managed properly, Sir Ludwig Guttmann was the father figure of spinal injury. So then a number of spinal injury centers mushroomed across the globe. But this took place mainly in the developed countries. So in emerging countries like India, it took a backseat because you have far bigger problems in infectious diseases, etc. So spinal injury was not taken into consideration. And you cannot demonstrate as good results as you could do with a fracture fixation or other things. Even though some services, Dr. Bala told you that Tamil Nadu lacks with such services, but it's not only Tamil Nadu. You can count on your fingers the number of centers which are available in the country to manage spinal injury. So imagine the vast population, right? And having facilities far less than a much smaller country to be able to manage such cases. So there needs to be plenty of infrastructure in the country to manage this most devastating ailment that can afflict mankind. And again, I must compliment Kaveri Hospital for taking the initiative to consider starting similar services. I believe spinal injury services will be established at Kaveri Hospital soon, and I must compliment.
As Dr. Chabra mentioned, it was used to be a condition that was not to be treated because of the complexity of the injury. But what I have found that when appropriate rehabilitation is provided, it is very treatable. And people, you can see people around this conference moving around in wheelchairs. It's very possible to have a life after spinal injury. And I feel that this is why this meeting is so important. I think it's one is the educational aspect. I represent the International Spinal Cord Society Educational Committee, so it's very important to increase the capacity of healthcare staff in the management of this condition. It's also very important to make people realise that this is a speciality and to encourage young doctors and professionals to go into this area of rehabilitation. And I feel another very important reason for this meeting is that actually, as Dr. Chabra mentioned, is actually to encourage and stimulate the development of services, because the people you see around this conference in wheelchairs would not be here. They would not have survived if they didn't have the services they need. So I think having this conference, it promotes that. And I feel the third and most important thing is why you are all here, to actually increase awareness about spinal injury.